Gang Gang Dance are a band that have existed since 2001. They're an American experimental band based in Manhattan, fronted by Lizzie Bugatsos. I have no idea if my pronunciation is anywhere near right on that. They have released 6 studio albums so far. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the 4th album by Gang Gang Dance, and it is my first experience of them. I had no idea what to expect when I first got this up and running and listening to it, and I was so I can't really say that I was surprised, but I didn't think it. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about that. It received mixed reviews. I think it's fair to say some people were a bit kind of lukewarm and some people raved about it. So it's one of those things that is hard to pigeonhole. And generally speaking, I think that can be a good thing for music. So Wikipedia, under styles for this album, lists ambient, avant-garde, electronica, dance rock, psychedelia, and world beats. So that's quite a broad spectrum of things. The acclaimed music listing, which is what I use for the titles at the beginning of the video, it was 2 styles to do with psychedelia and psychedelic stuff. Maybe I get that, but I still think that still doesn't give the idea of what it's like. But the problem is how to. Well, first of all, listen to it, and there should be a clip at the beginning and a clip at the end, as there always are on my videos. Though between 2 clips, you're not going to get the full gamut and idea of what is in this album. So musically, it's generally quite straightforward in that it's got chords and it's got progressions of chords, or going backwards and forwards between a couple of chords maybe, and that's about where the normalcy ends. So there's a lot of sounds that you'd recognise, but the usage of the sounds here is unusual, and the production is also complex. I would say there's definitely elements of ethnic sounds in here. There's electronic stuff. There's quite a lot of use of kind of arpeggiating electronic sounds. There's rock sounds in here. There's certainly bass and guitar going on at various points. There's percussion and there's drums. There's quite an emphasis on percussion at times, and often having more than one set of percussion going on. And it just feels like they're trying out new sounds and ideas and throwing stuff together and going, yeah, that sounds cool. And to be fair, I think quite a bit of the time it does sound cool. I think my best kind of metaphor for it is I'm going to describe it as a musical junk shop. It's just stuff all over, and it's kind of crammed full of all these different sounds. And they're things that don't necessarily relate to each other. But they've put them together in such a way that certainly they think works. And I think with a little bit of hesitation, I would say generally I think it works. It's busy and it's complex and it's mostly happy and quite often upbeat. It's got kind of shininess to it. Occasionally it's got kind of a Japanese feel, maybe. Although occasionally I was also reminded of Bjork, but maybe that's just because they're both experimental and so step outside the kind of the normal in terms of the sounds they use. The tracks mostly run into each other, which is something that I have often been a fan of. And I'm going to now talk about the vocals from, I'm still trying to pronounce it, Lizzie Bugatsos. So mostly they're quite processed. Occasionally there's all sorts of bits of echo. There's tremolo switching on and off, and some odd processing going on. So it's hard to make out the words. But her delivery is interesting. It reminded me at times of Annabella Lwin of Bow Wow Wow. So if you don't know what that means, it's singing, but it then goes yeah, and kind of half talking, half singing, and reaching up into scale heights, and quite expressive with it. And I mean, she can certainly sing, but it's not conventional singing by any stretch of the imagination. Again, I was reminded occasionally, but less often, of Bjork. Again, I think it was the tone of the voice that occasionally reminded me of Bjork. I think it's fair to say that the whole thing is as mad as a box of kittens, possibly as a box of kittens that's been on catnip. It's pretty out there. There is one track, which Prince is, which has a rap by guest rapper Tinchy Strider. That's probably my least favourite track on the album. I'm not necessarily a fan of rap. Probably my favourite is a track called Afoot, which has spoken lyrics rather than sung, and they've got some repeated stuff going on there. Still don't really... I mean, I could make out the words better. Still don't really know what the point of the words was, but I quite enjoyed it. So it's odd. It's interesting. There's a lot to dig into. Because of the density of it, it would bear out quite a few listens, I think, to dig into, all the different things that are going on here. It's probably not for everyone, and I think that is kind of held out by the sort of borne out by the fact that the reviews from professional reviewers were mixed. Some liked it, some didn't, and I think that's kind of an indicator that in the general public, some will like it and some won't. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was interestingly different, and it had a kind of, a kind of fun attitude to the whole thing. So I liked it. What do you think? Please let me know what you think of this album through the comments box. That's it from me for now.